Hello, I'm Phoebe and this is my mum Kerry. We're from Diverse Learners and this week we're doing a video every day for Dyspraxia Awareness Week, 12th to the 18th of October 2014. And the topic for, and the Dyspraxia Foundation badge there, which is mine but I let them borrow it. So we're going to be talking about exams and the reasonable adjustments that you can get for your dyspraxia.
Okay, so the reason why they have reasonable adjustments is exactly that. It's an adjustment that is considered reasonable, that doesn't give you an unfair advantage, but also doesn't put you at a disadvantage. Sometimes a lot of people call it levelling the playing field. The idea is that these adjustments will allow you to perform to your full potential in exams. And the reason that you might get it is for slower processing information. So if you have slow processing, you can process the information, it just takes you that little bit longer. So reading the information, understanding the information, digesting the information, then being able to write about it will take you longer than someone else. It doesn't mean that you're stupid, it doesn't mean that you're thick, all it means is it just takes you a bit longer to do that process.
So you get 25% extra time, which puts you at the same level as everybody else, because if I had to do the exam in the same time as everyone else, I wouldn't get it done, and I wouldn't get it done to the best of my ability either, because it takes me longer to process the information and understand what the question is asking from me and what I need to do.
So 25% equates to 15 minutes for every hour. The other thing that reasonable adjustments allow you to have is memory issues. So you have short-term memory issues, so you might be able to read the question, think about it, but the time you've processed it, you've gone, what was the question again? So that's another reason. Handwriting is often slower. Handwriting
and it hurts to write for a long time. So although the extra time is good, one of my exams this year is going to be 3 hours and 15 minutes. So I don't usually use a laptop which you can get to help you type so your hands don't hurt, but I think for a longer exam it will definitely be beneficial for me to do that.
So we would recommend learning to touch type, and then that actually helps you capture those thoughts that might disappear because of your memory and get more information down in a shorter space.
You're not focusing so much on the typing.
And you're not focusing on the handwriting as well. Pressing very heavy when you're handwriting is an indication of dyspraxia. Uneven letters and letters that kind of drift up the page and drift down the page are common ways of identifying dyspraxia. Also, if you don't wish to use a laptop, you can use something called speech-to-text software. So you speak and it types. Again, this is a reasonable adjustment. And some people have a scribe, so they will write the answers because the writing is so difficult for them. Also, you get a separate room, don't you? Sometimes,
not separate from the main exam hall, and people who don't have specific learning difficulties or need extra time or just a space to be away from the whole exam situation, but there's not usually very many of us in there, and with A levels I found that there's actually only me and one other person in there for most of my subjects. So,
and also if you suffer from anxiety, a reasonable adjustment is a separate room, so you can take breaks. The other thing that Phoebe gets is your paper.
Yes, so in the exam it's not quite like this. It's bigger and more spaced out. This is my everyday classroom work. So it's on the peach, because I find it hurts my eyes and I'm quite visually sensitive. So to have white paper with black writing, I cannot focus, and it just really puts me off my learning because my eyes are hurting so much. All I can think about is the pain I'm in.
And often a lot of people have difficulty tracking, so they'll start on a sentence here but finish on a sentence down here. So this is every day. This is a reasonable adjustment for every day in school. But what Phoebe has,
the writing is probably
much bigger at 14.
Same size as those there, and then the space is about the same size as those two.
So you get double spacing and a size 14 font, and the font that she prefers. There are also a whole load of different other colours. These are all common colours that are often used in terms of visual sensitivity.
Blue and yellow I've seen a lot of other people have in the exam as well.
I quite like the peach and the light blue. There isn't
peach and purple are my colours.
So they're those there, and they're available very easily from pocket pads and on websites. And lastly, all this reasonable adjustments, how do you get it? Well, you can get it if you have an identification. Some people call it a diagnosis. We prefer identification. We feel it's
positive
and less medicalised.
Yeah.
So you can get that through various systems, or sometimes the school will actually test you in terms of handwriting speed and memory. And if you fall below 85%, which you do, that means you qualify for some extra support. And if you use this is crucial, if you use a laptop as your everyday way of working in school, you don't need any special arrangements for your exams in order to use that laptop in the exam, because it's your usual way of working. So that's our tips for exams. Have a lovely Dyspraxia Awareness week, and
hopefully some of our videos useful to you. We're doing a video every day, so there's an array of topics, so if this doesn't necessarily apply to you, there's plenty of others for you to go check out. Okay.
Or request one if you've got a topic.
Leave it down in the comments. Okay,
thank you. Bye.